Welcome to part one of a three-part series, Talking Fish. That's right, Talking Fish. I'm here at A1 Aquarium World at Rossville Shopping Center, right here in beautiful Cranbrook. I'm here with the owner-operator of A1 Aquarium World, Mr. Don Booth. How are you today, Don?
Good, Henry. How are you doing?
Mike, I'm trying to thaw out a little bit. You must admit it's pretty cold.
It's more than pretty cold, Henry. For Townsville, it's freezing.
Do you think the fish know that it's cold, Don? I mean, can the fish actually gauge what temperature it is outside?
They certainly can, Henry, and they know it's cold. That's why we keep them nice and warm and heat them up with heaters and things like that.
Now, as I said earlier, we're talking fish. And this guy, he knows everything there is to know about fish. Isn't that true, Don?
That's true, Henry. I've been doing this since I was a little fellow. That's a long time ago now, probably nearly 40 years.
Okay, well, Don, tell me, people say that fish have a tranquil effect on their moods. It gets them relaxed. Is there any truth to that?
There is a lot of truth to that, Henry. A lot of people even these days watch their fish rather than their TV. That definitely keeps them calm. Even after hours, when I want to unwind here, I will look at the fish, like the tank behind me.
Okay. So your memories, you said you were interested in fish ever since you were a young fellow?
Certainly was.
Tell me, was your first fish goldfish?
No, my first fish was Siamese spiders.
Siamese spiders?
Yeah, they're a great fish. Good starting fish. My older brother and I bred them and sold the young. That was my start in the industry.
Okay.
Way back then.
Okay. And so, what do you think about goldfish? Because I have to be honest, I was born in the United States, and that was my first pet, a bowl with 2 goldfish in it, and I love them.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been through that. That's how they start with goldfish, actually. And they're probably one of the world's most popular fish, without a doubt. And most children often do start with goldfish. They're nice and hardy, colourful and active. So it's one of everybody's favourites, really.
Okay, well, speaking of children, so do you think that fish are great pets to introduce children to?
Yes, they are a great starting pet, actually, because they're low maintenance, they're low cost in general, and they're easy for a child to look after and be taught to look after. So yeah, they're a great starting pet to learn about animals. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, look, I have never seen so many beautiful, colorful, I guess the word to use is tropical fish all in one place. Could you tell me a little bit about the different species that you have here? I mean, it looks like, let me have a guess. Is that a saltwater fish or is that a freshwater fish? Or is that a marine fish? Or are they tropical fish? Oh, I'm so confused.
Yes, anyway, I'm not surprised you're confused. We have up to 250 different species of fish here. And
250?
Yep, 250. And some of them are goldfish, which aren't tropical fish. They're temperate or cold water fish. Some of them are tropical freshwater fish, like the ones behind us. And then some of them are marine fish, which are also tropical marine fish. And there's an amazing variety. This is just a small snapshot of the fish that are available. As I said, we have 250 varieties, but there's many, many, many more.
Okay, well, Townsville, we do live in the tropics. So, look, I don't know how this sounds, but is it safe to say that most people look for tropical fish that live in the tropics?
Yeah, most people do. Although, as I said, we start off children often with goldfish, but most people do love tropical fish. They're colourful and active and all sorts of interesting behavioural traits. So yeah, most people do look for tropical fish.
Okay, well, recently I had a cat and I had a little dog, but I'm telling you, they used to always run away and wind up at the RSPCA, and then I had to fork out this amount of money to get them out, and then I had to feed them. Oh my goodness, those pets were expensive. How does it compare feeding a fish as to feeding a dog or a cat?
There's really no comparison, Henry, because it's much cheaper. Even with a large fish, there's a large one you might have seen at the door there. He's easy to feed. It's a handful of peas every second day. That's all he eats. So keeping fish is a much cheaper option to keeping cats and dogs and things like that. Yeah, much cheaper option. Easy to feed, low maintenance, no vet bills as a general rule, all that sort of thing.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, there's an old saying that you can't teach a old dog new tricks. But I'm just curious, Don. Can you actually teach a fish a trick?
You certainly can, Henry. There are people who have taught fish all sorts of things, to go through hoops, to play with ping pong balls.
Are you serious?
I'm serious, Henry. It can be done. The bigger fish are a little bit smarter than the little guppies and the goldfish, but certainly they can be trained. And all fish recognise their owner. They'll come to the tank when you come to the tank. So they'll recognise
Is that
their owner.
right?
Yep.
Oh, man. I see why you call this A1 Aquarium World. You really know a lot about fish. But let me ask you this. How, like a dog might take a little poop on the carpet and you got to clean it up. What about the fish? I mean, who cleans up the fish? I mean, or do they make a fish mess?
They don't make much mess, Henry, but of course we have the filters that clean the tanks, and of course you can get gravel siphons, which are like a vacuum cleaner for the floor. So you vacuum clean the floor and you take out all the old water and you put new water in there and the tank's lovely and clean. So
Okay.
between the filtration and the vacuum cleaner that you use, the tanks stay beautiful.
Well, on a little bit of a sad note, look, I have to really let you know about this. There was one time I remember when I was a kid, I came home and my beloved goldfish was found belly up at the top of the water. I really felt like I lost my best friend. Is that normal?
I think so, Henry. I think a lot of people feel sad, just like it's just a pet, like any other pet in the family, like the dog or the cat, and people do feel sad, particularly children when they lose their pets. Yep.
Okay.
So we hope that they live for as long as possible, but they do have a much shorter life as a general rule than a dog or a cat.
Okay, well, if you left a dog at home or a cat alone too long, they suffer from, I guess you can call it separation anxiety. What if you left a fish in the bowl for like a day? Would a fish get separation anxiety, do you think?
I don't think so, Henry. I think he'd be pretty happy. So long as his water's clean and there's a little bit of food for him, he's pretty happy. He probably wouldn't be too stressed out when you're being away.
Okay. Now, I also noticed that there's a lot of different sizes of the fish in these aquariums. I mean, do the big guys pick on the little guys, or do the little guys pick on the big guys?
Yeah, Henry, that does work, and we do group them. We group them into small, medium, and large, because the big guys definitely eat the little guys. So we definitely group them, and that's three sorts of tanks. You have a tank with small fish like guppies and neon tetras. You have a tank with medium-sized fish, perhaps like goldfish and some catfish, and you have a tank which has big fish like cichlids, like Oscars and things like that in it. That you can't combine. You can't combine with the big ones with the little ones, and the mediums with the big ones, because they get eaten.
Okay. What would be the most... Now, look, this is going to be a hard question. What is the most popular fish that people in Townsville seem to inquire about the most? Is there any one particular species that you can think of over your illustrious business career?
Well, I can tell you, Henry, that neon tetras are the most popular fish in Australia and Townsville.
Yes.
They sell more than any other fish put together, followed closely by guppies and goldfish and Siamese spiders.
Yes.
And I guess we get a lot of questions about, even though we sell more neons than anything else, we get a lot of questions about Siamese spiders. That's one of the things, and goldfish too.
Well, did you say your first fish were Siamese spiders?
They were.
So, Darren, are you telling me you're a fighter? Or you just like seeing people fight, and so rather than get into martial arts, you decided to take some Siamese fighters? Is that the idea?
That was sort of the idea, Henry, because it's such a calming, rather I'm not a fighter, but keeping fish is such a calming and fun pastime, I did get into Siamese spiders. Of course, we didn't fight them or anything like that. We keep them separate. They look beautiful in each little separate tank, and you can't put them together because they do fight. But they're very, very calming, and that's probably what I like about them, the colours and how calming they work, how enjoyable it is as a pastime and a hobby.
Well, let's not dodge the subject. Did you see them fight?
I've never put two together, Henry. if you put the jars close together, they'll have a little fight between the jars, but I've never put two together in the same jar.
Okay.
That wouldn't be very fair.
Because, I don't know, look, when I was a kid, I used to like catching a bumblebee and then catching a wasp and then putting them in the jar and then shaking the jar and then sit there and watch them try to tear each other apart.
No, I've never done that, Henry. That wouldn't be fair to them. But they would tear each other apart, that's for sure.
Okay, so I guess I was a bit abnormal, you say.
You needed Siamese fighter, maybe, to calm you down a little bit.
Well, the only thing I want to ask you now is, okay, what do you have to do to prepare for your first fish?
You have to do. You need to prepare your location. Think of a suitable space for your fish, whether it be in the bedroom, the lounge room, and how big the tank's going to be. A Siamese fighter tank is only tiny. It can be as small as half a litre. So you need to prepare an area, and you need to know your budget, how much money you'd like to spend, because you can spend as little as $15, and you might go as high as $15,000 for a marine tank. So you need to know your budget and your area you want to work with.
Okay. So basically, I guess what you're saying is that it's not a bad idea to get someone you know in your family, like a young one, a gift, maybe for their birthday or for Christmas. That's a fish.
That's it, and we see that a lot, Henry. We sell gift vouchers here. A lot of people get fish or fish tanks as gifts for their birthday or Christmas, and it's very, very popular.
Now, I'm back to this therapeutic value. What about an aged care? Now, a lot of people have missed loved ones or going through their stages in life, and sometimes I guess they feel like they're alone. A fish, in my opinion, from what I've seen and heard from you so far, seems like a great companion for someone that's going through aged care.
We see that a lot, Henry, actually. There are a lot of aged care homes that have fish tanks in them. And if you're at home alone sometimes when you're elderly, yes, we see that a lot of people do keep fish, and they talk to the fish, and the fish do respond.
They talk to the fish?
They talk to the fish, and the fish, even a Siamese fighter, will respond to its owner.
Well, there you go. We're not the only ones talking fish. I'm here with Don Booth, the owner-operator of A1 Aquarium World, and this was part 1 of Talking Fish. See you next week for part 2.